sorry about that. Let's just continue here. So I'm going to start finishing this up here by just adding dark regions there, there. And we'll come here and just paint this. And the more times you run over this with this brush, the darker the area gets. It's the burn effect. Okay, so you get the idea. All right. So let's add some highlights. We can do that with the dodge tool. So now I'm on dodge. And you can see we also have this option here for shadows, midtones, or highlights. If any of these tools are not working, you can always switch between these different options and it will affect the different areas that it considers the color to be. So it was on shadows, so I'll just keep it on shadows since it was painting pretty good. Let's just see, let's just go and paint with our dodge brush, which is going to create our highlights. We set our brush, and let's also change our exposure. It's to 100. So right now it's not painting any highlights. It doesn't recognize anything here as a highlight. So I'll just do mid-tone. And as you can see, as I go over and over, now we're getting some nice highlights there. Now it's better probably to refine this brush so that you get some nice strokes like that. Do stuff like really getting this muscle tone to stand out here. Go over it and over it, and as you can see, I'm going to make it brighter and brighter, and can really get this very cool look here. Alright, so go ahead and continue working on your character. Now for this area down here, because it is below, or it's supposed to lie underneath, well, you can choose whatever way you want. You can use the layer stacking order to figure out how you're going to put the clothes on top of the body. I'm going to keep the layers as they are. I'm just going to add a new layer to this layer set. And I'm going to just, once again, lay this out with a very basic purple. And, of course, this is going to be a lighter purple, and we'll do that in a second. I need to actually paint this with a brush. So I'm going to grab my brush. Pencil, sorry. Change the size of our pencil, and we also need to remove the selection. We can't paint right now because the selection's here. We can only paint in the selection. So let's go ahead and Control D to undo the selection, or you could simply grab the selection tool and click somewhere else outside of that selection, and it will remove that selection. So there's several options. The goal is to get rid of that selection. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing we did up here, which was to paint this purple mask, and we're going to use the paintbrush, and we should be able to paint anywhere. Yep, and we're ready to go. So I'm just going to go here and paint this like so. There we go. And because this layer is on top, when I erase, the lower layer will show. So I'm not too worried about detail. So get all this painted where it should be. Alright, cool. Now let's do the shadow layer. So I'm going to make another layer, and this layer actually is going to lie right down here. Okay, and I'm just going to choose a very dark color, and I'm just going to go right over it like that. Maybe we should actually put this layer on top like that. And on this layer, we will erase after we get all of this stuff out of here. Alright, so we'll have that shadow, but wait a second. It's going to sit there for a while. So we got this layer, this layer. Let's go back up here and let's refine this now. So we're going to change its overlay. So we'll go ahead and go multiply. In fact, let's try this. Let's move this back up. And let's do that to this too. Let's do multiply. No effect. Let's switch it back. Maybe we can multiply this guy. No, it doesn't give us the look we want. We want to keep the green but have the black. So we'll have to actually erase that out. Back to the pants. Back up here, we're just going to grab our eraser tool and we're just going to refine this. We'll start with a better size. I'm just going to fix on this here. Of course, with your image, you'll understand what your image is supposed to look like, so it's easier for you. Of course, this wasn't my drawing, so I'm not too familiar with what all of this mess is down here. And if I did really know this, if I were familiar with this artwork, if I knew exactly what I was doing here as far as what I was painting down here, it looks like a bunch of lines and gibberish right now, I would probably get my pencil tool get a flat tip, flat color, and probably create some more line geometry to refine some of this stuff more. But since I'm not really too familiar with what it is, I'll just leave it as it is. We can go ahead and erase this stuff here. Keep it a smaller brush. Okay. There is some amount of work that does need to get done. Photoshop doesn't do everything for you. It just gives you an avenue to do what you want to do. But it doesn't actually magically make your dreams come true. There we go. So that's pretty good. You do have to put in work, which is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's tackle this stuff up here. We can do that by creating another layer. And I'm just going to choose a lighter color, lighter purple. So come down here, I'll color pick that purple, and I'll choose a lighter version of it. And we'll do the same thing. We're just going to come up here and paint on top. Make sure we're painting and not painting. Why are we not painting? Oh, we are erasing. We're going to paint the paint brush. And better size than that. So small like that. We'll paint this in the same manner like that, and then we'll use our overlay or our multiply. Now you see it's not going to affect that. It's not going to work there. So we might actually have to paint this layer on top of the other layer. Ah, that works. There you go. Never mind. We'll use a different effect. That works just as good. So we'll use this, and then we will grab our eraser tool. And we'll remove all of this here so that it is more refined as the rip from his pants. There we go. There's several ways we could have done that, but that worked. Alright, and we also have to fix this up here because this is also affecting this. Here, we'll remove that like so. So that is back to its original look. Excellent. And last but not least, let's go back to the bottom layer here. Let's go ahead and combine these layers now that we like them. We'll select them both. We'll right click and we'll choose merge layers. Okay, now again we have to do our multiply and we get our looky. Okay, now let's just make sure we get rid of all this stuff here. We want any of that. Our eraser tool. Go back and repaint. Whatever it is you did not want in your scene. Okay, now let's go ahead and make a selection by holding down the command or control key and clicking inside of this layer's picture, and it'll make a selection of the pants. And we're going to grab our burn tool, and we're going to go ahead and burn just this area here. Remember, you can control the exposure. So if we bring this up to 100, and let's just try to do shadows. Let's see what it does. It will create a darker region as it keeps going. Make all this area right here much more darker. Affected more. Actually, going to put it back on midtones. It seemed to expose it better and work. Yeah, see, it looks better on midtones than it does with darks. So let's go back to midtones. There we go. Like that. Perfect. Down here, we'll do the bottom here. Not too sure what that is. And let's do some highlights up here, of course. So we'll go to our dodge tool, and we'll make a few dodge adjustments up here, like this. And we'll just keep going right on his knee there. There we go. And let's do like right one right here. We'll make a line. And then we'll do, just keep clicking there. Pick up like that. And we can click over here, give it some brightness there. Alright, so not too bad. Went from having a drawing to something that looks pretty decent. Alright, so using these techniques you should be able to continue to work on, you should be able to finish this up. When you're done, you might want to crop your image, so you can use the crop tool here, and you can set a crop by clicking and dragging. Oops. This is the newer version of Photoshop, so you'll have a crop tool that will be like the selection tool, where you'll drag from one corner and it will create this light area and a dark silhouette around it, and the darkened area is the area that's going to be removed once you hit enter. So there's my crop. That's the region that I am going to keep. This area and everything that is in this darker gray tone will be removed. When I hit enter, I'll hit enter, and